te wehi te mana o atutu puna pātino mai kei o ramika hui.
Hi ana i te mihi ati ki a rātou ko wehi atu. Nā me tīmatau i nei kōrero, nā me kōrero i te pō.
Ko au te awa, ko te awa ko au.
We are the river and the river is us.
You can't put a price on our water. Our water is our lifeline, our water is us.
I want it to improve before it gets worse.
I lived in that time of the war when food was rationed. Everything was rationed and we lived off the river. That was our main source for food was the river. So we weren't starved, no.
And down at the mouth of the river, there was so much watercress used to be there that used to grow out into the lake. And you could just about, this whole marae, the watercress would cover this whole marae, the amount that is actually there. Every weekend, cars would come in here to come and get watercress.
Everybody depended on watercress. If you had meat of any description, you cooked it with watercress. And that was your veggies. And you could walk down the river at any time or any place and get the watercress. That doesn't happen anymore. There isn't any now. It's just gone.
As a child, I remember just crossing the paddock to gather watercress with my grandmother, and it was something we'd do regularly. You know, it was an activity we'd do all the time.
It seemed like to us like poison had been put in the river, and watercress just went gone.
You take the resource that underpins the success of a society, your natural resources, you take that away, you've got a deprived society. They took it under the Public Works Act with an acre of land, and we weren't aware of it till about 70-something. We had a big meeting down here.
The person up in Nongataha, we're metered. They're not. They could turn their tap on and leave it on. We turn our tap on out here and leave it on.
It's rated.
We pay.
They are taking our water and they're charging us water rates.
There were already pipes being laid between Nongataha and Kotu, and we found out after they'd been put in that that's what they were there for, to take the water on without us knowing. So we ended up taking them to court.
Te Puna o Pikehaua is the lair or the dwelling place of our kaitiaki, our taniwha Pikehaua, who looked after us, who ensured that none of our tamariki ever drowned in the Awaho stream. And that puna feeds down through the Awaho right past our marae. Tūpuna is an ancestor, or in the way it was explained to me, a tūpuna is one from whom I spring. Okay? A mokopuna is a grandchild or the continuation of that spring. So in a way that puna is a physical entity that talks about spiritual continuity and connection to each other. We have seen that river dwindle from a strong rushing force over the last 40 years to a slow trickle now. It is weakened to the extent that with the current regime of monitoring the lake levels, more often than not the lake is flowing upstream than the river is flowing downstream, which to me is incredibly unnatural. I guess you'd call it a stream now. They don't even refer to it as a river.
So the impact of that is that the stream isn't flushing or clearing itself at its natural rate because of the lack of strength behind the flow and the volumes. And then that's compounded by the impacts of the other smaller tributary that only contributes about 25% of the flow, but because it stretches right up into farmland, you had a lot of sediments starting to find its way into the riverbed and finding its way down the river, decreasing the depth from the surface to the bed. A lot of the pollutants entering the river, whether it be animal waste, synthetic farming fertilisers that are applied to the ground, they're all finding their way into the stream now because the natural filtering mechanisms have been removed.
We teach our children in their kapahakas, their songs, they can compose songs about the river and about the people, everything, and even the pateres that we sing in here, they're all related to the river. And our children learn it from the time they're at kohanga until they go on to varsity. And it'll go on forever.
E rua ngā tāo ahurei o Ngāti Rangiwewehi, tuatahi ko tana awa me ona kōrero, tuarua ko ona rangatahi. Ko ngā rangatahi ngā mea kai te cheki te awa I nā wā kei te haramai.
The river still means everything to us. It's just a place where we can hang out, place for a swim, go for fish. The river to all of us, it's an important thing.
The river to me means a place of healing. It's a place to whakawātea I a koe anō. It's a place of happiness as well. A place to go and relax with your whānau, a place to remember, reflect on things.
From all the things the awa gives, food, life, a place to let the kids run around all summer, the most important thing for me is that it has a wairua aspect, it has an aspect where it can heal my spirit and give me enough energy to get on with the rest of my life.
When we get sick, the first thing we do is take our people to the river. And we go to the river, we have karakia. Each family does it in their own special time. You don't make a ceremony of it, but you do it quietly and it works. Well, it works with us because we believe in it. We believe that Pekehaua, our guardian, is there to take away all our sicknesses, all our illnesses. And that's why that river will always be a part of us, because this is what we believe in.
That would be the dream, to release that spring again in its full force.
He karanga ki ngā tūpuna I manaki mai, tangi mai, aha koa tore ringa, kia kaha e tonu te waimimi a Pekehaua, nā tō aroha, I tōku manua.
Ngāti Rangiwewehi has waited a very long time for its settlement. We are ready to settle. We are water people. We are always concerned about our water. For Ngāti Rangiwewehi, we know when the water is healthy, we are healthy. We've been without our watercress for a very long time, and we know when the watercress is back in the awa, then the awa is healthy, then we are healthy spiritually and culturally, and that is the legacy that we want to pass on to our children.